Welcome back to More to Life. Today's video, I was inspired by one of my Facebook friends who wrote a post asking, how do we teach young children about Black History Month? February, it's an important month, but how do we teach our children, our young children about that? So it really inspired me to make this video and to give some tips on what I do in our house. I also talked to some pre-K through third grade teachers, some things that they're doing in the school system. And then of course, good old Google. What did Google have to say? So I think it's important for us to celebrate Black culture all year. That's what we do in our house. So that way when February comes, it's not an awkward movement of, okay kids, we're gonna learn about Black history, and they're like, what is that? So we try to celebrate not only our culture, but all cultures throughout the year. Let's remember that other cultures have months, like Asian and Pacific American Heritage Month is in May. And then you have Hispanic Heritage Month that goes from September 15th to October 15th. And also Native American Heritage Month that is in November. And I'm sure there are many more. Those were the ones that I was able to find, and that I know that we have acknowledged some of those in our household, and we're trying to do better and acknowledge those even more, because it's important to study about other people. So something that we did in our house last year with the curriculum I created, we did a series called Around the World. So it looks at different continents in particular, and you study their music, their language, and different characteristics of that particular area. And it was really fun for not only Carson, but also for me as the parent, walking him through that. So I believe that it's important for us to introduce our children to age-appropriate material. Of course, there's certain things that I wouldn't introduce to my 4-year-old that I would introduce to him maybe at 14 or 15, when he's old enough to understand some complex ideas. But right now, he's 4. And so all of this is geared toward that spot of like K through 3rd. What would you teach that age range? So first, I think it's important to celebrate people of color through play and activities. So I have a friend that is a kindergarten teacher, and she shared with me that not only were they looking at the people who are famous, like Martin Luther King Jr. and Rosa Parks, but they were also looking at those heroes right within their own community. So I thought that was a great idea. So not just those names we hear all the time, but those right in your hometown. Who can you study? Who can you tell your kids about? And I always try to focus myself on those that you don't necessarily hear about in schools or in the textbook. So one way that we celebrate people of color through play and activities is that this time around, we're going to look at Benjamin Banneker. He was an inventor. He created the first clock and the first farmer's almanac. So it's rumored, and history has it, that with that clock, that watch that he was trying to figure out, he took it apart several times, put it back together, and tried to figure how every piece worked. So an activity I found online, and Carson will be doing, is that you take an old appliance like a VCR, or you take a clock, a watch that you have, and with your supervision, let your child take apart every piece. It's gonna be a tedious process, might even be nerve-wracking, but you let them take it apart, and then you have your child recreate something with those pieces. So therefore, they're kind of taking on this inventor role, much like Mr. Banneker. So that's just one person that we really don't hear a lot about, and he doesn't get a whole lot of credit. So I try to look at those type of people. So first thing that I recommend is that you celebrate people of color through play and activities. The second thing that I recommend is that you celebrate people of color through books. I love books. I've said this on another video. My kids love books. So I feel that it's very important for our small library of books in our home to have a span of different genders, color, backgrounds. So I brought down some of the books that my kids, it's on their favorite list right now, and I enjoy them as well. These books, they celebrate color in different ways, and I want to show you some. So this set right here, I would say that this group celebrates real people, because you have Martin Luther King Jr., you have Harriet Tubman, and then a book full of women. This is one of Grayson's favorites right now. So they celebrate the real people that we know, that we can put a name to. I also like that Books A Million, they have this set called Ordinary People Change the World. And every year I try to, because they have a different characters. This particular one is Harriet Tubman, but I try to get one of those each year to add to our collection. And of course, the material in this right now, Carson's not ready for, but it'll be on the shelf for him later, and Grayson. This next category is all about the hair. So we have this one for Carson, all about the cool cuts. I think I've mentioned that before because he likes to talk about the different cuts he's going to get at the barbershop. Grayson has one that celebrates hair, and this one as well. And this one has actually been adapted into a little cartoon, so that's cool as well. So we have celebrating real actual people, celebrating different parts of us, or our hair in particular. And then these are just all fun books that they all have some type of deeper meaning that they're talking about, and I love that. These are some of these, and of course I stuck this one in here, and then this one. So plug for me, if you want to see people of all color with a man of color as the lead, Carson's Zoo Adventure by myself, T.O. Moore. So I really feel that it's important for our children, since they are the future, for them to see a wide span of not only color, but gender, different backgrounds, different stories that aren't similar to their own. So that way they won't feel like one type of person exists in the world. They can have a span, and believe our library is not just books of color. We have everyone, and I'm trying to expand it, and I'm going to write more to expand it because there's some people that aren't represented in children's books. The last thing that I would say is to celebrate people of color through food. Of course, this is my favorite. I'm a foodie. So I would say for African American culture, try to find dishes that originate from Africa. Taste them. Get your family familiar with these dishes. Try some new things. It's good food, y'all. And if you're brave enough, try to make them. Make them at home. Make it a family event where you're cooking together. So remember, first, you can celebrate people of color in 3 different ways. First, you want to celebrate through play and activities. Number 2, you can celebrate them through books. And number 3, celebrate through food, my favorite. So as the year goes on, remember that try not to consolidate different cultures to just a month. That could be a start, but it would be a beautiful thing if all of our homes were celebrating different people, all people throughout the entire year. And that's what our household longs to do. So I would love to hear from you guys. Please comment. Tell me your ideas. I don't know it all. I love to hear ideas. So share your ideas, like this video, share this video with someone that you love and someone you care about who has small children. Also, shout out to Target. I forgot I have on one of their shirts from their collection. Let me show you. So it is one of my favorite ladies, Zora Neale Hurston, and Target Target came with it, with their collection. I mean, they have different shirts for men, women, kids. Believe we got them. They have books. My cousin was tempting me to get the Barbie doll collection because they had it all, and I was so excited. Right in the front of our Target, I was like, "This is why Target gets my money." But I love it. I love it. So that's enough for today, guys. We'll see you later. Make sure you subscribe to More to Life. Thank you.